Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill Dewit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill,
and this is the Jack and Jill Show 2.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill Dewit.
Hi.
Welcome to our show today. In this episode, we talk about how much money does it really take to start real estate investing. Before we get into it, let's take a question from one of our listeners/members at landacademy.com, the online community. It's free.
That felt like that was a pause, like you thought I was going to make a joke there or something, like you're waiting for me, like here it comes.
No,
Jill's going to jump in.
It's just yet another sign of my fact that I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Wasn't sure the dead air wasn't my fault.
Kind of pure luck that this even happened at all.
Okay, good. It wasn't me. Thank you. Just checking. Like, am I supposed to say something? Am I supposed to say anything? I don't know. So you didn't have a big
I can't speak.
Breath.
That's what it is.
I wasn't sure. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Matt asked this question. Have you ever come across a situation where you cannot get the vesting deed because the last transfer happened before they started putting the deeds online? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Oh boy, we will.
Yeah, that's redundant.
I forgot who you're talking to, Matt. But isn't it like from the 80s forward is available online? I have a deed I'm trying to get.
From the 70s.
From the 70s, there we go.
And go ahead.
From the 70s, I was not wanting to close with a title company on this. Is the only option to have someone physically go and pull the book and page at the county?
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all,
let's talk about what a vesting deed is.
Okay.
Briefly.
Okay. The vesting deed is the last recorded deed.
Most recent.
Most recent. Well, which is the last. It's not the last in time, right? The most recent recorded deed. So what that means is Matt's looking to buy a property and he's trying to get the most current deed, and that's called the vesting deed. Most current recorded deed is the vesting deed. So my first point is I would get it from the seller, number one, and then I would be going to the county and confirming the ownership and make sure everything lines up. So I'm guessing Matt the owner, was from the 70s, and I'm guessing they lost it. That happens. If I owned my car from the 70s, I would know where my pink slip is, but I'm sure someone could lose their pink slip and have to go get another copy. I get that. Mm-hmm. So that's really what the equivalent of Matt's trying to do here. So now, depending on how far the back they go, again, it's on the county. I've seen counties go years and years and years and show A to B to B to C, but that's not normal. We have access to that with our data.
Yeah, that's where I wonder. That's my big question about this, because we teach, go ahead, Jill. Finish that thought.
That's where I was at just before the show. We were talking about this. I'm like, I'd like to know where this person came from, because I'm guessing Matt's not in our world, and that's okay. So for anybody not in our world who has our membership and our access to our data, we have that.
We're licensed providers of RealQuest Pro and Title 24/7, mm-hmm. Title Pro 24/7. It comes as part of the membership, even at the most basic membership level. So this solves this problem. Mm-hmm. I'm glad this question's in here, mm-hmm. because maybe some of our members don't even know if Matt is a member. You just go in there and look up the parcel, and it'll show you the mm-hmm. documents come up.
Print it out. It's right there
for you. It's
part
of your due diligence. You want to make sure that all this stuff ties properly before you buy it. Mm-hmm. So I don't pull. Have you ever been stumped in there?
No.
In RealQuest? Neither have I. Mm-mm. So,
plat maps.
I wouldn't
get all
really
that
even
stuff
call the county on this. I would just, because the county, the data that RealQuest has in there in Title Pro is a direct county feed. In fact, the people that work at the county don't even know about it. It's between the data people at the it's all back end. So it's really a lot more accurate in a lot of ways.
Whoever answers the phone won't know what you're talking about when you're saying, "Hey, I'm on RealQuest here, and I'm looking at da-da-da." They'd be like, "What is that?"
Have you ever done that? I've done that.
That'd be hilarious. Did you say that?
She's like, "What's RealQuest?" I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, that's funny.
That's how I know that. That's how I know that it's all data people. It's not the people who work there.
No, that's so funny.
What's RealQuest? I don't know where they get their information. That's what she said.
Why would you want to buy that?
We're snotty today.
I know we are. Sorry, Matt. We're not picking on you.
No, but this is a very good question, actually.
It is, and I'm glad you're doing your homework. And I'm guessing, too, I love that he's not... Hey, Matt, too, you don't want to go with the title company, so you're putting up your own cash. It's not a crazy high amount, so I'll give you some credit. You're going to do this on your own. You're doing your own due diligence. You're doing everything right. But, yeah, we have that right at our fingertips. So if you're in our world, that's where it is. If you're not in our world, you want to be in our world. If you're not a member, you should be.
I hear radios clicking off everywhere.
No.
So, I said, I inadvertently corrected you earlier about most recent, not last deed. Mm-hmm. A long time ago, a million years ago, when I was going out with multiple women at the same time.
Boy, this is going to be good.
I used to have this list of questions that I would ask people before, just to see where their head is. And this is more of a statement, and just to check their reaction, this is what I would say. Of all the girls I've ever known, Sally, you are definitely the most recent.
Thank you for not using that on me.
Yeah, so in the reaction, you can gauge it right immediately, their reaction. And so 8 times out of 10, it's just a mess.
Yeah, because you're kind of asking for it.
Because you're looking for the 2 out of 10. You just want to get rid of it. Are you
trying to tick people off?
No.
Oh.
I think that's funny as hell. If somebody said that to me, I would laugh out loud for quite some time.
Okay.
I don't think it's funny.
No. I've probably fallen the wrong percentage there.
No, you wouldn't.
Okay. All right. No, I would laugh, but I'm I can see a lot of people being offended.
Why?
Because
it's true. You are the most recent, or should you say the most special? Because that's what they think.
Goodness,
you're the prettiest of all the girls. You're the prettiest.
You know what? How about this? I wouldn't use that line anymore. Anyone that's listening to Jack for dating advice, let me help you out here. Don't. Just Thank you. If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either of us on landacademy.com.
Jill transitioned out of that.
I did. You're up.
Today's topic: how much money does it really take to get this whole darn thing started? This is the meat of the show.
$1.75? What do you think?
This is the meat of the show. And guess what? The answer is not 0. It just makes me mad when people say, you don't need any money to get started. I mean, you don't need $5 million or even $5,000, but you need some money.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. When I think too, I mean, I have one little point I want to make too.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of people that think, oh, I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna get all the free information, all this and that, and all that good stuff. Yeah, I mean, you could do that and spend all the years that we took to get to this point. Yeah. So, I mean, if this is kind of a hobby, or you really don't want to do this as a primary anything, yeah, take your time, learn it, and you'll get there. That's good. However, if you want to cut to the chase and buy some property and make some money, tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, say in 45 days or 30 days, then there's a different way.
The answer to the question is the title question. How much does it really take? It varies pretty widely from person to person. I know people that have started this whole thing with $1,000, and they turned it into 2,000, then 4,000, then 8, then 16. I know people that have started with just enough money for the education and their data and stuff, got real good at it, and then found a money partner. And the money partner person's kind of, there's a lot of people in our group who are just money people, and so they provide the actual acquisition money, and the other person, the original member, provides the knowledge and the how-to and the actual sending out mail and things like that. So, like everything, the more you plan in general, the better it's going to be. So if you're thinking about doing this, and give yourself a couple of months before you actually really start, do a lot of research, listen to some podcasts, go into the Land Academy online community and ask questions. Just, it's all free. Ask a million questions, and it may turn out that you don't want to do this at all. Or it may turn out that, this is the best kept secret for you ever. We were talking about that earlier today. It's shocking to me, and Jill brought this up. How many people don't know that you can just send offers right out to an owner? It's 10,000 at a time if you want, and it looks like they're just getting the offer to John Smith at 123 Main Street. I would like to buy your house for $76,000, and I can close on Thursday. Mm-hmm. It's called a mail merge. So it's shocking to me that how many people don't know that that's possible?
Well, the thing I think was interesting when I talked to people is they understand getting something out in the mail to people. A lot of people, the big disconnect is what you're sending. You're not just sending a postcard with your name and phone number on it.
Don't do that.
Right. You're
Jeez.
sending a real, legitimate, well thought out, serious, personalized, I know exactly your home and what it's worth, and I'm offering X. And it's I love it because I talk to these people on the phone and the light bulb goes off. They go, oh, wait a minute. Did you just say you're sending a real offer? I'm like, yeah. It's a legitimate...
It's not an interest letter.
Right. It's just a real offer. So I thought about, for this topic, I kind of put 4 big things together. So here are my big things for people to think about if you want to get in this business. Number 1, think about investing in the knowledge, like Jack just said, in education. I would not dive in blindly to.
The more education, the better. Not just from us, but everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever source of education you have, you're going to learn something.
Oh yeah.
Jill and I go to these free seminars just in hotels and stuff, and sit in the back, and I always learn something.
Yeah.
I mean, we crack jokes the whole time back
This
there.
is true.
But I still, as hard as I try not to, I always take something away. Like, wow, I learned that.
Well, it's interesting. You and I too. We were there kind of to gauge what are these people being told? What's the general, what's going on out there? Because most of our members, our successful members, come to us having their feet wet, having already gone through somebody else's program.
Yeah.
Having already done something and had it not go correctly.
That's right.
Or not get the right outcome. They still know something's missing.
Yep.
And that's how they come to us. And we're the people that fill in all the missing pieces and take it to the next level, which is the end level, basically, and help them make this a real business and get into a system and all the stuff that you're great at, Jack.
Yeah, so you want to take the risk out of it in general. You want a predictable outcome.
Yep.
You want to do A, B, C, and D and have a predictable outcome, and then do F, G, and H.
Right.
And then turn it into money and do it again and again and again and again and again.
Exactly.
No mystery.
Okay, so here are my 4 big things for getting started here at Invest to think about. 1 is, of course, the education. 2 is some money, probably, or your time, which is money, to build up your website and your buyer presence. 3, you got to think about money for mailers and data.
And these things are all solutions that we've gone through, and we've done it wrong 5 times, and now we do it right, and
exactly.
we share that.
Yep. So 3, mailers and data. There's going to be money involved in that. And you've got to plan for that. The data, like the tools, you're right. And then 4 is your acquisition funds. So I really want you to do it right. I want you to have some money. We tell people,
you actually
sure.
thought about this before the show.
Thank you. I do that.
I respect that.
I did my homework. So
I didn't even comb my hair before the show.
I know. I can tell. Some people come in thinking, well, I'm just gonna find the buyer, find the seller, and all that good stuff. And yeah, that's true. But if you want to do this right, I want you to have a little bit of money. Buy your own acquisitions. Get some transactions under your belt before you start expanding and bringing in other people and doing some stuff like that. If you notice, I don't have on there get an LLC. I don't have on there do this stuff. You don't need to do that. Don't have on there business cards in your office and your phones. Your cell phone's fine for now. Google Voice is fine for now. There's lots of little things like that for now that you can do while you get this going and get some money coming in. People get hung up on that too, like, oh, I have to do all these things first. No, you don't. Let's get some money coming in.
Get the offers out there is what you need to do.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people that get hung up for a long time before they actually pull the trigger and send that one offer out. I think they're afraid of failing. That's true. And it's actually fun for Jill and I to watch people who are real vocal about that on Success Plan, whether they're part of our group or not, and then come back and say, oh my gosh, this really worked. Right. What do I do now?
Right. And they're staring at this data and worried about pushing the button. And what if I downloaded too many? Okay, yeah, they're 8 cents. I mean, for most of our members, it's 8 cents. If you downloaded 100 too many, that's $8. I think we're okay, Yeah. It's all right.
So, yeah, I mean, you want to, like I said in the beginning, there's varying levels of, we have multiple members in our group who have been flipping houses forever, for 10 plus years. And they're just learning now that how to buy houses to fix up and flip. They've been doing it wrong. Yeah. So there's members in our group where they throw away all the stuff that we're talking about with land or anything else, and they just say, you know what? I know exactly what to do with the asset and who's going to buy it and fix it up. I got that nailed. But I had no idea I could buy it for 40% less than I would in the MLS.
Right.
That's, and it's fun to watch those people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And those people have limitless cash. Mm-hmm. So it's not even a money issue for them.
Sometimes I feel like I look at some people like, why are you trying to make this so hard? Do you feel like you win a trophy if you, Jack and I are all about, let's just not mess around. Let's just smoke out the deals, smoke out who wants to sell, and then talk to only those people. That's really it.
That's it, Jill.
That's it. I don't need to get a trophy to go. Oh, I heard a rumor. I heard some people talking I was at a funeral and I overheard that the widow doesn't know what to do with the property. I'm on it. Yeah, don't tell anybody. Could you imagine? People think this is great and they win a trophy for finding that deal. I'm sure there's people that peruse obituaries looking for deals. I'm sure that there's a group out there. That's not how you do it.
I see comments like this, like the following, and just like that. In Facebook, I see comments like this. I saw one today. On all social media, not just Facebook. I have a buyer who called me on a property that I have that's already sold, and he wants to buy property in Colorado to put a tiny house on, and then this whole story unfolds. And I just shake my head. I see this from members.
I do. I see it in Facebook. Is that what you're saying?
So, yeah, everywhere I see it. And I'm like, that is not how you do this. That's the old way to do it. That's like the real estate agent way, where there's a lot of talking and deal making, and we look at every deal and we turn it sideways and look at it differently. And that's not this. Mm-hmm. This is a machine.
Exactly. You just became
with a predictable outcome.
You just became your own high maintenance end user.
That's right.
Because this is what you're doing. You're like,
well said.
it needs to be north south facing, and it needs to be.
Less
really?
Talking.
Am I going to go look at that? No.
Less talking is better in this whole environment that we've created. Except for each other. We should talk to each other a lot and laugh, but not to buyers and sellers. They're going to, if they get a letter that says, I want, the price is not the primary thing for these buyers. Price is not the primary thing.
True.
That's the whole, for the buyers it is. For the sellers it's not.
True.
They would just want to do a deal fast.
True. Can I want to recap if you don't mind and kind of give a little more information, because I want to be really, really honest here. So, how much, Jack, if you were starting out, how much money would you spend on step one on the education?
I don't know. I would, if it were me, I'm going to extremely candidly answer this. I would do a lot of research, more stuff that's available that I can research for free, just to see if I want to do it. And then I would spend some money if it was worth it.
Would you spend more than 10?
No. Oh my God, no.
Thank you. Would you spend more than 5?
No.
I'm talking 5,000, not hundreds, by the way. Okay, so you wouldn't spend. Thank you. I agree. That just gives me a heart. If I'm having to spend $30,000 on something or more, that just doesn't work for me. I'm with you. All right, so a couple $1,000s is realistic. Okay,
or a little bit less maybe.
Okay, now Jack. Now I'm on. Let's get. Thank you. This is good. I think everybody will appreciate this. Me too. Okay, now I need to establish my websites and my buyer presence and all that good stuff. Jack, you're starting out. How much would you spend and how would you do it?
So the mistake that I see a lot of people with websites make is that they're not doing an industry-specific website. Okay, they're starting something that could be used for shoes. It could be used for accounting services. So an industry-specific website that answers all this stuff. I think we did a show on this yesterday. That's worth some money. But I don't think I'd spend more than $1,000 on it. Okay.
Check. So you want someone that does these kind of websites, them, or you copy theirs.
Yes.
Bingo.
Copy theirs.
Oh yeah, you could go to somebody and you could pay $1,000 and say, copy this guy's. I want mine to look like that with all the checkout capabilities and all that good stuff. And my properties to look like that.
Without any legal infringements, yes. Not copy or mimic, but model it after that.
Model it, that's what I mean. So yeah, good. All right. Now step 3, I've got that going, Jack. Now you're new. You're in it. How much money would you budget for your first mailer or the first couple months? For mailers and data and getting your offers out there.
Well, I can tell you, everything's on a subscription basis now. So to get access to good data, there's obviously no, this is not a big commercial for us, but it's no coincidence that the way that I'm answering these questions is pretty much what we offer, because it's in my comfort level. But RealQuest Pro obviously we're licensed providers. It obviously has the best data on the planet. I'm not just saying that. I've tried other stuff, and it's worth it. It's worth the money. So I always say do probably a 1,500 unit mailer up front. This is weeks after you've researched how to do this. You don't want to do this wrong. Mm-hmm. So 1,500 mailers times 10 cents, I think it is now, or 8. I don't know what we ought to offer it. So whatever that is, you're going to buy the data for that.
the data.
Right.
You have a monthly subscription, and then you need to budget that to download the data. Maybe I usually tell people too, you're going to download 2,000 records to end up when you scrub it to have 1,500.
That's pretty good numbers.
Okay.
And then the mail, it costs, it's not a commercial for us, but it's the price of a stamp to get stuff in the mail with professional software and the whole thing.
Yeah, please don't spend $1 on a mailer or on a postcard.
And don't do it yourself. Everybody thinks it's cheaper to lick this. Don't never do that. I really mean that. It is so much more work, and you want to be a deal maker. You don't want all these other back office data things to become a problem.
You don't get a trophy for hauling your own bin to the mail box.
You shouldn't.
I think I would be embarrassed. I don't want to say that, but that's the wrong thing. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, never buy envelopes and all that. It's just so much more expensive and time consuming. So
you're a pro.
You can get it for the price of a stamp or cheaper through bulk mail, at the bulk mailer company of your choice.
Okay.
And they handle everything.
So I don't have a calculator, but think you're doing 1,500 mailers, say around, we'll just say
$7.50. It's half, 50 cents a unit.
There we go, 50 cents, so $750.
49 cents.
Perfect. That gives me an idea of what that costs. All right. Now, I'm doing acquisitions. How much would you recommend? How much would you, Jack, start off with? What was your acquisition funds when you started?
I did one deal, and one 80-acre deal in Arizona from the East Coast, from Pennsylvania, because I was in accounting back then. And I bought it for, I think it's 4 or 8 or 6 or 7. It's like 8,000, I think, and sold it for I doubled it.
It's in the ebook. I think for 4 something, and you sold it for 8 or 9.
I doubled it, more than doubled it.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the numbers.
Yeah.
So
4,000.
And then I put the original money back, where it was my money. I didn't borrow it, and then used that money, the spread, whatever it was, $4,000 or $5,000, and that's why we're here.
Exactly.
And never put any more money in.
Yeah, and buying an asset for $1,000 isn't crazy. You can buy a good asset for $500. That's not crazy. If that's what your budget is, that's okay.
Right.
And then just keep going.
So you're sitting there saying, well, this all adds up to a lot of money. Stuff that's worth it does. Mm-hmm. There are programs out there that ask you to pay $50,000 just to sit there and listen. Mm-hmm. They don't provide any solutions for tools, any access to data, or any of that stuff. A lot of them. In fact, I don't know of anybody that provides the actual tools that are worth it on an ongoing basis like we do. So if you're sitting there saying, "Oh my, there's no way," you know what? Plan it out.
Mm-hmm. Take your
Everybody
time.
says go ask your parents and stuff, or your aunts. Don't do that. I mean,
I was
you
just
can
gonna add
you
that.
can if you want, but that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's one thing. If you notice, that's something that Jack and I, when people come to me and say, I can't afford it, I say, then fine. Then budget it and call me back in 6 months when you do have it, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Save
never
some
going
money.
to tell anybody, well, what's your credit limit?
Yeah,
no.
don't do that.
Do not take this out on it. You want to do this right. You want to be successful. And that's one of the big things about us. I think, Jack, and why people really like us is that we are real, and we don't want you to, we want you to do this right. Just start small if that's what you can afford it. You own the assets. If it takes a week to sell or a month to sell, you're not hurting because your brother-in-law is looking for the money back.
That's right.
Or wherever you got it. Take your time and do it right.
And here's the thing. I'll leave you with this thought. There's way more money out there than common sense and talent. If you spend your time, forget about the real estate. Just forget it. If you spend the time learning how to buy assets with data, and you learn how to mail offers out for any type of asset, you are going to win, because you will find that there's a tremendous number of people who would love to partner something with you. If you go to somebody who understands real estate and has a bunch of money, and they're sitting around wondering what to do with their money, there's a ton of people in this planet like that, way more than people like you. And you say, I can buy this asset, and here's the proof. I can buy this asset for $4,000 and sell it for $12,000. All right. Look at these guys over at Land Academy. Look at their completed sales. They did it like 4,200 times. And I can post it on their site and the whole thing. They're gonna get it, and I'll give you half. I'll give you half of the proceeds. That's gonna work.
Yep.
Here's the sentence that I used to use. I don't want this acquisition to go to waste. I'm leaving a ton of money on the table. You want to get in on this thing? Jump in. And it always works.
Bingo.
And you want to be real truthful about it.
Exactly.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either one of us on landacademy.com.
Join us in another episode where Jack and I discuss how to use information, that's him,
and inspiration, that's her,
to get just about anything you want. We'll use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You're not alone in your real estate ambition. Good show.
Yeah, I think that was helpful. Thank you for giving the numbers at the end, because I want everyone to hear that and know it's not free, and know it's not 50,000. It shouldn't be anywhere like that.
Yeah. You see a lot of people just want everything for free. There's a few people I see, they learn all the stuff and then they just go do it themselves and have some relative success, and that's fine too. That's I guess. Okay. If you don't want to make it an empire like we have, you just want to do a couple deals once in a while. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, I get that. Totally agree. And I'm glad that we're helping out those people.
Right, me too.
That we're teaching them, you can go do that, and it's okay. And the people who really want to take it to the next level, and they want to replace their primary income, or they want their kids' college paid for, or their mortgage paid for, and all that good stuff, then they're in our world, and that we can help them.
That's right. Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
of all kinds, not just land,
for half price, just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.